Yeah, hello everyone. This is your guy Benjamin Schnau again with the new review of the new show We Are the Wave on Netflix here at AfterBuzz TV in Los Angeles. And I'm really glad to talk about this show because we have a lot of different topics. But first of all, we see Tristan kissing a guy on the school courtyard. We see Leah finally believing not in brands anymore. And we also see Tristan and Hagen going against Mr. Butschma and his business. This and a lot more in the first review of the first episode of We Are the Wave here at AfterBuzz TV in Los Angeles.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome again to the first review of the first episode of the new Netflix show We Are the Wave. And guys, let me tell you, me as a German guy, I'm really glad to share it with you guys, with all the English-speaking people in the US, pretty much everywhere in the world, because it's a very interesting show, very fictional show, but also very real-life show, I have to say. A lot of topics that we talk about on that show, which is real life and really happening in all our lives. So I'm really glad to share that with you. But starting at the very beginning, the premise is really welcoming because we have Tristan Broch, right? We see him in the first scene with Leah, which we actually don't know at the very beginning. So what I realized, and hopefully you guys realize that too, the first scene that we see on the show is like a preview of the future. But what we see is very interesting because we see kind of a ceremony of the NFD, which is a German neo-Nazi party in a way. That means they're not just neo-Nazis, but they are people believing in these kind of beliefs that a lot of these people are believing in, right? So this is the first scene, and we see Leah and Tristan basically dressed up with a wig and stuff like that to pretty much hide their identity to fight against these people. And this is a very critical topic also for us Germans in Germany to talk about because these people, unfortunately, becoming more and more right now, right? So I'm really glad that this show is openly talking about it, and we see that in the first scene, which got me very excited as a German, particularly, to see what's coming up in the future, right? But let's start from the very beginning. After the preview, we jump right into the school scene, which is also very fascinating because Tristan Broch, as we see him in the first place, is like a rebel, right? He comes in, like with his shorts, sneakers, and he doesn't really give a he just does what he's doing. He's coming in, but from the look you would expect, hey, he's just a guy, like a street guy, what does he know, right? But he's a very intelligent person. He's talking about France, he's talking about the French Revolution, and out of a sudden, we see him going into the bathroom in the restroom, talking Arabic to Rahim. So he's a guy born and raised in Germany. He looks very German, but he speaks Arabic to Rahim. That's one of the things I also wanted to point out, which is interesting to me. Me personally, as someone growing up in Germany all my life, living with a lot of people with a lot of different backgrounds, Turkish communities, Arabic communities, Russians, Polish people, really great to see that the story writers basically also took that topic about languages to share this information. Hey guys, you look like that, I look like myself, but hey, we can still like each other. We can just even talk to each other. You even learned the language. You can speak Arabic to me as a German guy. Very fascinating, really like it. But also on the other hand, we have to talk about the negative aspect. So we see Rahim's storyline, which is very sad in a way, right? Rahim is really trying to go to school every day, but really also bumps into these kind of kids always trying to get him down because he maybe has a different kind of, heritage than all the other guys. But he's fighting very hard, which I really like, and Tristan is recognizing that. And Tristan is a guy, he's intelligent, as we said, he is a rebel, but he is a good guy at the end. So he's believing in the good things. And as soon as he's seeing disrespectful behavior or something which is not right or he can justify, he is helping people. And he's helping Rahim. He's helping Rahim, but also Hagen at the end. And Hagen, very interesting character. And at that point, I also really have to say to the story writers and producers, the cast is really amazing because Hagen is also a very sensitive and emotional person, and he fits the part really well because he talks about the economy, he talks about all the things that are happening outside that we have to work on, nature, Mother Nature. He's pretty much about that. And Tristan is realizing that. And we have that one scene, before I'm coming to Leah, obviously, but I wanted to point that out, Hagen and Tristan and the whole school class is going to Mr. Butschma, the business owner of that one paper company. And Hagen comes from a farmer family, but they lost all of it, which was very critical also because it's happening right now. A lot of companies taking over, a lot of farmers losing business because companies are probably cheaper or whatever. and destroying nature just to make maybe more revenue, making more money out of it. And Hagen is fighting against it. His family was giving up already, but Hagen is still on it, which I really like and appreciate. Tristan recognizes that at the company when they have this kind of tour around the company, but he's also stopping Hagen at some point because Hagen, as you can tell in the moving forward in the storyline, wanted to really bump something like a bomb, like a color bomb against Mr. Butschma, right, to get him out of action. But Tristan is stopping him and is telling him, hey, that's not good enough even for him. You should do even more against him. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, what is Tristan trying to do in the future? What is his plan? Because at some point I had the feeling, and let me know what you guys think, but I have a feeling Tristan has a plan. From the very, very beginning, since he went into school, since he was meeting all these people, he was checking out the courtyard. Okay, who are my allies? Who are the people that I can work with? And he's finding Raheem, he's finding Hagen, and obviously he's also finding Leah. And Leah, as we see, she's coming from a more upper class family, but at the end of the day, she is not really happy with her life. And when I saw her life in the very first scene, when she's getting up in the morning and getting all these messages on WhatsApp, Instagram, and what it is, I felt like, wow, that's almost like myself. And it would be really interesting to hear what you guys felt, but I was like, wow, that's how life is today. We wake up, we get all these messages, all this stuff is going around, so much information today that we probably don't even know, is that really how we should live life? Is that what I should supposed to do, right? Or maybe do I have dreams? Do I have anything else that I would like to do? Do I want to break out even? Do I want to leave that place, that location, whatever it is? It made me realize, wow, I think a lot of people probably live in a bubble and they have a very hard time to break out and need someone like Tristan to come into their lives and just telling them, hey, I think what I just do right now is something that you haven't done in a million years, right? Have you? And that was a very interesting sentence. When he said that to Leah, I was like, yeah, you're right. She probably didn't. She probably never have done that anything like that before. But you are here right now showing her what she's capable of doing. So that's a really nice premise in general, right? Beside all the topics that I was just talking about. We have a very social aspect, but also very interpersonal interaction with Leah and also Tristan. And if you ask me, I think they're gonna have, like a love affair, maybe even a relationship. But right now, as we saw, she's still in a relationship with her boyfriend. I mean, he looks like this typical upper class German tennis player guy, right? No offense, but I have to say, but I think he cannot really offer her what she deserves. And Tristan is like a guy, he probably doesn't look like him or like her, not from an upper class, but he really feels what she wants to feel again. And that's the important message here right now that I just wanted to point out. The very first episode, really interesting. And at the end, as we saw, Leah is even going on the rooftop of her family house and is shouting it out loud that she is not believing in brands and logos and stuff anymore. She just wants to do what Tristan is doing. She calls him like a shark of the whole group, right? Because he's changing everyone's life for the better. And also one situation that I still can't really explain myself, but I wanted to ask you too, is when Tristan goes into this architect office. As you remember the scene, he's going to this architect office and he's stealing like a plan. And then I was just thinking, okay, why is he doing that? Coming back to my thought, okay, he probably has a bigger plan for everyone in the whole environment, but why specifically this plan out of an architect office? And then I was trying to connect it. I was like, maybe he's using this plan, or maybe that's the plan of his building where he's living in right now. Because as we saw, which was very surprising to me, by the way, is that he's not going back to a family house with living with a family, dad, son, or whatever he has, but he's going back into kind of an institution, almost like a prison, which is controlled by policemen. I was like, why is he in there? What happened? So a lot of questions came up into my mind, to be honest, really asking, okay, what is his background story? I want to know more about him. Where is he coming from? Why is he behaving like he does? Because he does it all right. Maybe not in the best possible way, but he's just fighting for the right things in life. But something might have happened in the past that he's now living in this institution. So let me know what you guys think. Where is he coming from? What is his background? And why is he doing what he's doing right now? Very, very interesting first episode. I can't wait for the next one. I really like it. I hope you're going to follow it. Also, for everyone international, really follow the show. It's very interesting. It's not just talking about Germany, the NFD, and all these parties, but it gives kind of an overall understanding about society right now, right? Living in kind of a bubble, having this routine. And I think sometimes, I truly believe, sometimes we have to break out to have a change within ourselves, to live the best life possible. That's my statement for today. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for joining me today. The first review of the first episode of the new Netflix show, We Are the Wave. My name is Benjamin Schnau. You can follow me on Instagram and also Facebook at Benjamin Schnau, like the dog. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you so much and see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.